This American war film, based on the Erich Maria Remarque novel of the same name, premiered on April 21st, 1930, making it the oldest film we reviewed here on the show. At least so far. Produced on a budget of $1.5 million, a considerably large sum in the wake of the stock market crash, this black and white film earned slightly more than break even, but did very well critically, winning the third ever Best Picture Oscar. The unrated narrative follows a group of German school kids who joined the army during the First Great War and faced disillusionment following the horrors of the battlefield. The naive soldiers are convinced to enlist after their teacher suggests, "Is a little experience such a bad thing for a boy?" The ensemble cast includes Lew Ayres, Richard Alexander, Lewis Wolheim, John Wray, and plenty of other names folks under 70 probably don't recognize, with the now 103-year-old Arthur Gardner as the only surviving member of the cast or crew. Steeped in dated quaintness, the acting from the troupe of boys is awfully overdone and hammy at times, occasionally even eliciting an unintended laugh or two. Individual monologues and conversations, however, are mildly intriguing, especially late in the film when we follow a single soldier instead of 20. Although its contributions to cinema, especially in the war genre, are still influencing pictures today, the 136-minute film is, at times, a very boring one. As I've mentioned in other reviews of decades-old movies, being critical of this picture's style and pacing is inherently unfair, as that was mostly expected at the time. But such a forgiveness doesn't make the film any more entertaining or captivating. Indeed, nearly the first 90 minutes of this picture rolls on without any true protagonist or story, just a sequence of loosely connected scenes following an entire group of nameless, near-identical individuals. For an 84-year-old film, the action of the fights and battles are particularly impressive and very well done, maintaining a realism and urgency to them.
I moved it! Just a scratch, you yellow rat! Up! Get on with the others! Up! Now! You yellow rat! Stinking yellow rat! Let the others do it, eh? Get up! Get up! Forward! Forward! Down here! Come on! Push forward! 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 Forward!
The high-pitched and garbled sound effects during these scenes may have been realistic back in the day, but they sound more like listening to a dying cassette deck stuck in a washing machine now. The poor sound quality also makes it extremely difficult to identify who's talking in several scenes, since director Lewis Milestone rarely punches in for a close-up. Otherwise though, he makes fine use of the wide 4x3 frame with long tracking shots in between slow dips to black that bookend every scene. Throughout it all, we're witness to the horrors of war, from fending off a mischief of rats, to eating too much food, to senselessly running straight into a machine gun. Limited by the technical shortcomings of its era, the inconsistent frame rate during some action sequences is unfortunate and distracting. The film's opening title cards inform us that David Broekman is responsible for the musical score, but I honestly don't recall ever hearing one. The movie is instead covered by an unsettling blanket of silence, with the film living up to its name rather appropriately. Decidedly sympathetic towards the German forces, this picture still shares some rather poignant themes about duty to country and the meaningless of war. I only wish it could have had a narrower focus or a faster pace. A touchstone in American cinema, I'm glad I watched this one at least once, but I'm afraid that was enough for me. All Quiet on the Western Front. Futility of War, eventually examined. Now let's take a look at what you had to say in the YouTube comments. A 9 and a 5 for All Quiet on the Western Front. You applauded this film's abilities to showcase the soldiers of war in a sympathetic manner, and its ability to still entertain today. You thought it was awesome. Well, I guess I'm alone on this one, but I didn't really enjoy it. I appreciate its pioneering efforts and technical accomplishments, but the story and characters were virtually absent until the final act, so I'll have to score this an alright.